You know what? I don't have an intro. Transformers 1 is the latest installment in the all-spanning Transformers franchise. In this film, we follow Chris Hemsworth, who plays Orion Pax, aka Optimus Prime, who is best friends with D16, played by Brian Tyree Henry, who is also Megatron. When they set out on a quest to find this matrix in order to impress their hero, they find out some things about their society, about their civilization, and they set out to do something about it. And that's really all that I'm going to get into without getting into too many spoilers here. This is going to be another non-spoiler review. I feel like a little bit of background is in order. I've been a Transformers fan for pretty much all my life. As long as I can remember and know what Transformers were, I've enjoyed the franchise, but I've never been like a super fan of Transformers. Like, I'm not like a fan of Transformers like I'm a fan of Marvel and DC and or even Ninja Turtles or Star Wars. Like, Transformers is one of those further back fandoms that, like, yeah, I'm into this. Yeah, I know the characters. Yeah, I've watched the TV shows. I've watched the movies, but like, I'm not like super incredibly well versed in the franchise. I know things, but I don't know everything. So going into this movie, I was excited to see what all the word was about. And I heard people say that this was like the Spider-Verse for Transformers movies. And I was really excited to see, okay, what is that going to be? Because I'd heard everybody say, okay, it starts off silly and it gets pretty dark towards the end and it gets really cool. And I was like, okay, let's go see what this is about. And honestly, I got pretty much what I expected out of it. And that's without me accounting all of what everybody else said. This is just what I personally expected when I seen the first trailer. And, just what I expected this film to be. Pretty much got what I expected out of it. But before we get too deep into what this film is, what we're going to do here, you know how we're going to do this, and we're going to do it like we do it every single time, and that we're going to break down some of the good, we're going to break down some of the bad, and then we are going to break down some of these stats, my guy. So with that said, let's start off with the good, guys. Honestly, like, the voice acting in this film, it is impressive. A lot of times when they cast these, like, movie stars who are not your traditional voice actors in films, a lot of the times it's like they don't hold up to what they really should be doing. It's not as good as other voice actors, but everybody in this film, they pretty much did a pretty good job at voicing all these characters. Before seeing the film, I was a little worried. I was a little cautious on what Chris Hemsworth's voice would sound like as Optimus Prime. But come the end of the movie, he is doing a pretty damn good Optimus Prime voice, and it's like, okay. Along with the action in this film, the action is like spot on. Like, when you get action scenes in this film, you're holding on. You're like, oh god, this looks so cool. I mean, that's because it does look so cool. The whole film in itself really looks cool. The animation in this film, smooth, buttery. Honestly, the film kind of does what it does, and it does it well. I was a little iffy on the character designs going into this film, and that was me knowing that, like, these aren't going to be the character designs that they have throughout the whole film, because we obviously see in the trailers that, these characters, they do learn how they do get this piece that allows them to transform, and, they do that, and then that they get bigger and their designs change. Even by the time the film ends, the designs that we have, I'm not 100% there on. I feel like they were starting to grow on me by the time the film ended. I'm sure when I go see the film again, I'll probably like the designs a lot more. But it was just kind of, they were awkward designs, but I feel like they work well enough. Mainly the designs that bother me the most of the characters are like their vehicular form designs. Mainly like Optimus Primes and Bumblebees. Those designs were like, they aren't, again, like I said, the designs aren't bad, but I just didn't like them as much. And I'm willing to, like, give this film, like, it's, okay, cool, because, like, these are the designs before they come to Earth. These are the Cybertron designs. So, maybe I don't know if they're going to continue to make more films in this universe. It seems like they probably are. But if they are going to continue with this continuity, I wonder if those designs are going to evolve and become more earthly like if these characters ever make it to Earth and, in the typical Transformer setting. But I don't want to make it seem like there was no flaws with the film, because the film had flaws. My biggest problem with the movie, which inherently it's not, depending on who you are, it may not be a problem for you, but it was a problem for me, and the predictability of it. There were moments in the film that, like, the minute I see these characters pop up, like, I'm immediately going, I know what this guy's about. Like, I know what this guy's about. And then when they show you later in the film, it's like, okay, yeah, obviously. Like, I caught that the second I saw that character, and it wasn't really hard to tell. And they try throw that little wrench in to make it seem like, oh, maybe not, but you kind of know, and you're not wrong. I also feel like the characters that they established, or the personalities that they established for the characters in this film, I feel like there are times that some of the characters made decisions that didn't really align with that character, or like, I feel like they kind of did things in ways that the personalities that they gave the characters in this film, I feel like they wouldn't have done it that way. For instance, there's a scene where, there's two characters and, one of them is like, hey, let's go do this. And the other one is like, no, let's not do that. And then the other character is like, but maybe you want to do it like this. And he was like, yeah, sure, whatever. But it just doesn't really work, because the whole time we've been seeing these characters thus far, it's like, okay, we've shown that this guy is a little more like this. And for him to, like, so easily give in or something like that, it just didn't align with the character. And, obviously, we know from the trailers that Megatron, or D16, he has this heel turn throughout the film. And honestly, the heel turn, they lay enough groundwork, but, like, it feels like there was a little bit more that was needed in order to fully connect with the turn. I mean, they don't get me wrong, Megatron, great character in the film, they did their thing with it, but I feel like they could have put a little bit more work in order to show the gradual turn with that character, rather than making it like there was gradualness to it, but like the way it started wasn't gradual enough. It just kind of was like, okay, happy-go-lucky, oh, I really don't like that guy. And then, that really don't like just grows into hatred, rather than like, oh, I'm iffy on this guy. And then, it just goes from one emotion to the other, and then the extreme of that other emotion. But honestly, those were my biggest problems with the film. Other than that, I think it's pretty fine. I think the friendship that they were able to build between Orion Pax and D16 was quickly established in the film. Like, pretty much almost that as soon as you see these two characters together, it's pretty much like, yeah, I see this friendship. And you're anticipating on seeing how this friendship is going to break apart, where that rift is going to come, and how it's going to happen. But we are going to do like we do, and we're going to break this thing down into the scores. And so, for casual audiences, we're going to give this film an A-. For movie fans, we're going to give this film a B. And for critics, we're going to give this film a B-. When you're asking me about Transformers 1, I'm going to say for sure see it in theaters and maybe go ahead and add it to your collection. Yeah, those are pretty much my thoughts on Transformers 1. Like I said, there were a lot of comparisons in saying this was like the Spider-Verse of the Transformers universe. And I wouldn't go that far to say, but I would say that this is, along the lines of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem of the Transformers universe. And that I definitely think this film is going to bring in a lot of new, younger fans for the Transformers universe. I think it's definitely going to be a lot of people's jumping on point for the universe, and it's gonna be the root of a lot of people's fandom for this franchise. But honestly, man, that's pretty much all I got for this video. I'm gonna try to see a few more films this weekend. I don't know what else is coming out. I gotta check. I have no clue. Like I said, I'm a little out of whack, but I'm getting back in whack. But yeah, guys, like I said, pretty much all I got here today. Get down in those comments. Let me know what you guys liked about this film. Let me know what you didn't like about this film. Let me know what you guys like about the Transformers universe. How do you feel about the Transformers universe? Tell me why you don't like the Michael Bay movies. Tell me why you do like Bumblebee and Rise of the Beast. Tell me why I should probably go back and watch the complete Transformers series, or maybe read some of the comic books. I haven't done that. But till then, guys, I will see you next time. Later.